Now here we have a reverse crisis escalates. The paper screams as state government demolishes House of Assembly complex, declares 27 seats vacant, cites structural defect due to earlier explosion as reason for demolition. Reason could be to make it impossible for 27 factional legislators to sit, according to analysts. All of that you find inside the paper. CJN warns FHC judges not to take their appointments for granted. That's on page 6. EFCC declares ex-Minister of Power Olu Agunloye wanted over $6 billion on page 5. And then a whole lot of other stories. Embattled Ondo Deputy Governor finally assumes office as acting governor on page 8.
To the Daily Sun now, Rivers crisis. Fubara draws battle lines, demolishes assembly complex, moves against defecting lawmakers. 4 loyal lawmakers expel colleagues as governor presents 2024 appropriation bill to assembly, and the federal government says count us out. You'll find that on page 6 of the Daily Sun. Of course, you have other stories on the front page of that newspaper, and a very interesting one, a promise from the defense minister, will end insurgency, terrorism simultaneously. That's a promise from the Minister of Defense. And if you take a look at the other headlines there, Tinubu approves sack, suspension, replacement of aviation chiefs. All of those can be found in the inside pages of the Daily Sun.
Okay, let's check out the Nigerian Express. It says EFCC declares ex-minister Olu Agunloye wanted, and it has a leading story on the Rivers crisis as well. Fubara's heavy blows on Wike. Rivers governor destroyed history with demolition of assembly complex, pro-Wike lawmakers say, and then crisis will get messier from analysts. You have other stories. Man takes own life after reportedly losing 2.5 billion naira online bet. Sad one there. Lagos records zero bank robbery 4 years in a row. Okay, that's interesting one. 4 years in a row, no bank robbery in Lagos. 1,000 Oguntish interns receive permanent employment letters. And then you have multiple taxation bane of telecom industry development, according to the NCC.
Let's go now to the front page of This Nigeria. Criticism trails demolition of Rivers Assembly Complex. It's an act of treason, brigandage, says lawyers and others. Legislators can reconvene, sit anywhere, says Otubanjo. All of that you can find on page 4 of the newspaper. And just below that, you see the picture story of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, while celebrating his 56th birthday on Wednesday. And, of course, people there felicitating with him. FEC exempts tertiary institutions from IPPIS. Universities, polytechnics, and others now free to exercise autonomy, says the federal government. That's on page 5.
All right, first news newspaper. Obasanjo offers to testify against Agunloye in $2.3 billion Mambila arbitration as EFCC declares ex-power minister wanted. Of course, that's another angle to that story as captured by First News newspaper. Governor Fubara goes for broke, tackles 27 pro-Wike lawmakers, orders demolition of assembly complex in early morning operation. As Speaker declares de facto lawmakers seats vacant. Of course, the Rivers government also explaining why the assembly complex was demolished. All of that you can check out the paper.
To the leadership now, the top headline there says, FG placates lecturers, takes varsities, others off IPPIS. That's on page 4. And just above the masthead, the president, Bola Tinubu, saying he's deeply honored by the 2023 Person of the Year award, which was given to him by the leadership newspaper. And of course, the other stories there, especially the picture story, which is quite interesting. We see bulldozers pulling down the House of Assembly complex in Port Harcourt on Wednesday.
The Daily Independent is leading with, it's time Nigeria moved from reforms to results. That's according to World Bank, says it must ensure coordinated fiscal and monetary policy actions. Enugu government inaugurates 10 small claims court. What does that mean? You check out the paper. It's on page 6. And then you have Rivers Speaker declares seats of 25 defected lawmakers vacant.
People's Daily says on its front page, Rivers crisis. Seats of 25 members defecting to APC must be declared vacant. That's coming from the PDP. And that story is on page 5. Interesting story also just below the masthead. Tudumbiri community disowns suit seeking 33 billion naira compensation. That's on page 25. And the police have swung into action in Kano. Police arrest the director, 2 others over diversion of government property in Kano.
The Nigerian News Direct. Import restrictions. Nigeria lost over $300 million to tax evasion. That's according to World Bank on page 3. Recommends reduction of import tariffs to reduce cost of doing business, poverty level, and applauds fiscal reforms, predicts a decline in inflation by the first quarter of 2024. High interest rate and non-collateral interventions, others, hindering recovery of 4.7 trillion naira debt. That's according to AMCON. Then budget of renewal. Olu earmarks 199 billion naira for education and technology sector. And of course, other stories you may want to look up on the Nigerian News Direct. Let's bring in our reviewers now for analysis of some of these stories. Okay, Rivers crisis escalates, this paper says, by Nigerian pilots, and it will seem like we're seeing Act 1, Scene 1, Act 2, Scene 2.
This is probably Act 2, Scene 5.
Oh, okay.
What is going on?
I don't know. Because at the end of the day, when you think it's going down or something is being done to resolve the crisis, then you see another one coming up. Do you think this crisis will ever see an end?
I think we're nearing the end of this crisis.
Okay.
Because, last night, the senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, was on air. But we didn't need Femi Falana to tell us that the Rivers, 27 members of the former members of the House of Assembly in Rivers State, because in the eyes of the law, they are now former members. It was very clear. In 2015, the Supreme Court settled this matter, the case of House of Reps member representing Ondo North Federal Constituency. Abegunde. Ifedayo. Yes. The Supreme Court ruled that he acted illegally by defecting from the Labour Party that sponsored him to the House of Reps to join the then now defunct ACN. And if you recall, from the trial court, when LP went to court to retrieve their seat, he lost, Abegunde lost the trial court, he lost the appeal, and Supreme Court 7-man panel headed by the then CJN ruled that he acted illegally. And we all know that once the Supreme Court has ruled on a matter, it's settled unless it reverses itself. So, and what Fama said yesterday, he echoed that position that members of the Rivers State House of Assembly did not seek sound legal advice before they did that. And I'm sure you have lawyers in their midst, and of course the head of their team, their boss, Wike, is a lawyer. But there's a difference between reading law and practicing law. It's like if you went to medical school for sake of obtaining an MBBS degree, you cannot just start treating your child. You will need to practice.
You're not even allowed to treat your child.
Yes, exactly. So in this case, Wike read law, but I'm sure he didn't practice. We all know he never practiced law. So I guess that's why they became very emotional. And as we speak, because somebody was discussing with me this morning and said that how can 4 lawmakers, pass the budget? Yes, the constitution is very clear. It says 1/3 of the members of the House of Assembly, 1/3 of all the members. So in the eyes of the law, the Rivers State House of Assembly, as we speak, has only 4 members as we speak. That's the truth about it. I'm not a lawyer, but it's just logical. Because in the eyes of the law, the seats of the 27 members have become vacant. And the governor cannot wait until by-elections are conducted to pass government cannot, the act of governance cannot be put on hold because 27 persons decide to plunge to commit political suicide, as it were. And it's a very big problem for them because PDP, as I think the PDP spokesman was here yesterday, PDP is asking INEC to, and I think INEC has no choice in this matter. It's automatic. It's a position of the law, and so that said, I think the crisis has come to an end. And then we also saw what happened yesterday, where the state government moved to demolish what was remaining of the House of Assembly. Recall that a month or 2 months ago, the House of Assembly premises was bombed by arsonists. And I used to work with this day. And you remember when there was this attack by Boko Haram on this day property in Jabi, Untako. Yes, Untako. The adjoining building, it's about 7-story building.
Yes.
It's, till date, it's not been, because it has to be brought down. The foundation has, the explosion compromised the foundation of that building. So I spoke with engineers, those who should know, and said that once a high-rise building has been rocked by an explosion, that the best option is to bring it down so that it doesn't constitute safety hazard to those who. And in any case, what is in a name? A rose by any other name will still smell as nice. If you sit there, there's no law that says it must be here. The lawmakers are free to sit anywhere. And the state government has said that they provided an alternative, accommodation, yes, for them to sit. So
this demolition seems to be raising a lot of question and concern, really.
No, but there's no time.
Because we did see the report, of an integrity test that was conducted and then, made public to say, okay, this is the position of the building or the condition of the building before it was pulled down. And then the fact that it was pulled down just a day after the defection.
No. There's no time. No. You see, whatever people.
Because that paper has a write up which says analysts.
It depends on how you interpret it. That's it. The issue is that was the building bombed? Yes. So whether the state government decides to demolish
the bombing actually was part of the whole of the
yes. Yeah, that's it. I was chief prosecutor in Anambra 20 years ago. We also had similar problem. And then, but you see, they say those who fail to learn from history are bound to repeat its mistakes. In 1999, somebody called Senator Jim Obodo. He assisted an American-trained medical doctor, Chimaroke Naman, to be governor of Enugu State. Chimaroke is a Methodist church member, and if you know, Enugu State is predominantly Catholic. He was like, and he didn't come from a majority part of the state. But when Chimaroke tried to take control of the House of Assembly, also what happened? He had majority of the House of Assembly. They even served impeachment notice on Chimaroke and then. It didn't work. In Anambra, Chris Uba assisted Chris Ngige to become governor, my boss. He tried to remove Chris Ngige. It didn't work. I can go on. Even the same River State, the now late Mashahari, assisted, he was state chairman of PDP at the time. He had, he had the powers to swing the pendulum, and then he supported Peter Odili. And when Peter Odili became governor, Mashari tried to control Peter Odili. And Peter Odili showed him who was boss. So, and Wike was council chairman at the time. I have thought that, like I said, those who fail to learn from history are bound to repeat its mistakes. There's nowhere where it happened in Southwest, where Awolowo brought Akintola to become premier instead. We saw what happened when Awolowo tried to wrest control from Akintola. We saw what happened in Southwest. So it's the same. It's a recurring decimal.
It's a thing that's recorded. Simon, what are your thoughts on this issue?
Well, the truth of the matter is Wike has overstretched his boundaries for quite a while. Because I've seen some video clips on social media where he said there's no need for somebody to try to influence any governor after he had exited. But in the last 6 months or so, we've seen him trying to hold on to the political structure of River State. We've seen him trying to manipulate or try to influence what he thinks should be his own structures. But is it fair for someone, a former governor, to seek to control a sitting governor? No.
Well, Simon, that has always happened now. Anytime
it has always happened. But again, it has to do with the degree. Do you understand? You cannot insist on appointing all the personal aides of the governor and you want to take control of the man. No, it won't be possible. Yes, I grant the fact that he was solely responsible for bringing him up. But of course, once you have power, then you have to be played a little bit cool. We had thought that this issue had gone, but then he said he was not going to, he doesn't like ingrates. And when he said he doesn't like ingrates, before you know it, 27 members of the PDP defected to the PDP.
To the APC.
To the APC. It shows clearly that this is a man that really wants to control the governor. And if you are a governor of a state, for God's sake, you won't allow yourself to be controlled by such person. So what I have read some snippet of what has really been happening in Rivers. People have called on the governor to call Wike to question. Let him simply concentrate in the FCT. Unfortunately, in the last 8 years, we've had a minister that never did anything. He was just simply a KIV minister. There is so much to be done in the FCT. So he should not allow himself to concentrate more attention in what is happening in Rivers. He has spent 8 years in Rivers. He should simply forget what is in Rivers and allow the current governor to take over,
Simon,
to do his job.
What about the demolition of the House of Assembly building? On the one hand, the government says the building is defective.
Yes.
On the other hand, political analysts are saying that this is a move against Wike. How do you see that?
Well, the truth of the matter lies in both. But I think what we need is the synthesis. If you were in his position, will you allow yourself to be just thrown off?
In whose position now?
It's in the position, of the governor.
Okay.
The governor should not simply sit down and allow himself to be thrown off. I once said here, not everybody is Jonathan. Of course, the man is quiet, he's silent. The governor is quiet, but you can't take him for a ride. I like that newspaper that he has gone for the broke. He knows that in this thing, it is either you kiss the dust. There is no reconciliation. And I tell you this, at the end of the day, when you look at it from the legal perspective, he the aces.
Okay, so you don't see any reconciliation?
I don't see any reconciliation. Because when you are dealing with Wike, it is either you bow before him or you fight him to the end. I've seen a clip. Fayoshe said, don't look for Wike trouble. But if you want to look for Wike trouble, then
he will fight to finish.
He will fight to finish. No, and Fubara is determined to do that. And I tell you, as a governor of a state, you can't just allow yourself to be
Isn't it said that he who pays the piper is the teacher? And I'm asking this because I spoke with somebody yesterday.
Yes.
He was just saying, that it was too early for Fubara to go against Wike.
How?
Really,
So
when you didn't even want to be governor and somebody brought sponsored you did everything against all odds.
You see, they missed the point. I was raised in Kwara State. We had a political godfather called Oloye, the late
Olu
Saraki. His son became governor. The son desired, Bukola became, and they fell out politically. This is the man who brought you to life. That's who bore you, and they fell out.
And trained him.
Yes, trained him. Everything Bukola is today, his father. Because Oloye was a very charismatic leader. You understand? But they fell apart. I was a correspondent in Rivers State in 2000. At the time, Chief Prince Uche Secondus was state chairman. Wike was a local government chairman. You understand? You see the difference. Later, Secondus became national chairman of the party. What did Wike do? Wike pulled all strings to remove him as national chairman because he had presidential ambition. And then you go to Rivers State and ask yourself, how many persons who started with Wike and talking terms with him today, politically speaking? So, is it the case of every other person is bad except him? This is the truth. For those who know, Wike is a very authoritarian. He's an authoritarian. He likes, even those who are his friends can't advise him because he's a very independent-minded person, and that's why he's falling into this trap.
I thought that as the president appointed him as the FCT minister, he would be able to wade into this matter. And
you saw what you saw. The minister of information went to dabble, impudently dabble to that matter yesterday. He was asked by State House correspondents, and he said federal government had no hand in crisis in Rivers. And I say, come on. Apparently, the crisis in Rivers, the minister wants us to believe that it's market women in Port Harcourt that are responsible for the crisis in Rivers State. I mean, he shouldn't tell us that. Wike is his colleague. So who will he side? And what Wike forgets is that, you see, you're a lady. When you see a mad woman who is in labor, who is naked, women who are sane, they will remove their clothes to cover her nakedness. So Fubara is not alone. He has 35 other colleagues. So they also watch. You think they're not giving Fubara a pep talk on how to deal with Wike? Look at the chairman of traditional council in Rivers State, Senator Use. I saw a video clip of him saying that the person they recognize is the governor. And Awuse himself used to be called the bulldozer of Rivers politics.
Yeah, but Awuse was part of those who congratulated Wike on his birthday yesterday.
No. I mean, didn't Fubara do the same? I mean, it's politics. like the late Badinju who say politics can't live. That is politicking.
Okay, gentlemen, let's move on to another issue in the papers this morning. Finally, Ondo Assembly declares Ayed that you are acting governor.
I think they didn't have a choice in that matter, because it's lingered, I said here yesterday, it happened in Taraba State when Baba Suntai had Baba Suntai. He had that problem.
Yeah.
It happened in which other state? And it happened in Nigeria, when Yarada was terminally ill, and they wouldn't even allow Jonathan to see him. I mean, it happened before us. So, like I said, you see, we have this problem about history. That's why we don't document things. This shouldn't be happening. When Akeredolu was MBA president, was the same time Yar'Adua was sick. We know what he said.
And he made a very strong statement.
Exactly. He's saying talking about
NBA president.
Yes, as NBA president.
Yeah.
He's saying talking about Wike. Everything Wike said has come back to haunt him. And that's why when you talk, be careful about the things you say. Because if you don't say anything, nothing can be used against you.
Or if you say it, mean it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Wike, stand by it.
Yes, Wike. I'm trying to go back to Wike. Wike condemned this man when he joined who was that? The governor.
Umahi.
Yes, Umahi.
Dave Umahi,
yes.
Yes, he condemned him.
Oh, there was even a clip on Facebook.
Yes.
I think we had it.
Matawale even accused Matawale that Matawale joined APC because of a threat from EFCC. I'm talking about EFCC. Look at what happened yesterday. I was not only sure, I was very impressed about we have a new EFCC. Declaring a former minister, and the EFCC chairman is Yoruba. You see, that's why we should not be sentimental about these issues in Nigeria. The EFCC chairman is Yoruba. Olu Agunloye is Yoruba. But they've come out to declare him wanted over $6 billion. So it shows that it's a radical departure from what we used to have. Kudos to the EFCC, because the EFCC chairman has shown that, he can back and he can bite. I met him.
And then the OBJ saying he will testify against him.
Yes. So it shows that we have a new sheriff in town, the EFCC chairman, and it's very, very commendable. I wish, look at what happened. As we're talking about this, the former Accountant General who is standing trial for 109 billion naira fraud. He was banned a few months ago in Buhari's hometown, Daura, by the Emir of Daura. So who's fooling who? So look at the Accountant General of the nation was arrested, detained by EFCC, arraigned for 109 billion naira fraud.
To quote,
and then they even recovered 30 billion from him. And then Buhari's town, honors him with a chieftaincy title. Then Olu Agunloye is Yoruba, and the EFCC chairman is Yoruba. I think they're from the same state, or about, I think Ekiti.
Olu Agunloye is from Ondo State.
He's from Ondo.
Akoko in Ondo.
Yes. And the EFCC chairman is from where? I don't know.
I don't know where he is from.
You understand? But they are both Yorubas. And he didn't say, because this man is my brother, declare him wanted. And, no matter how you say it, it's a very, very huge, it's a plus. It's a very huge plus for the EFCC. So I've done that because the same government had telling us that only previous day, the day before, the Minister of Solid Media has told us that powerful Nigerians behind terrorism, and he didn't have the balls to name them.
And illegal mining.
Yes, and illegal mining. But this is the EFCC chairman, boldly putting a photograph of a former minister who is his kinsman, as on them. Kudos to the EFCC.
Yeah.
All right, Simon. Yeah. Bishop Kuka, I think he was the one quoted to have said that this is a thief, but he's our thief.
Yes.
But in this case, it's like in this Agunloye case, the EFCC chairman is saying this is a thief, but this is not our thief. It's not our thief. And we have to do something about it. But what are your thoughts on how this will affect the fight against corruption? Because Nigerians are looking on to see how that will pan out.
Well, I am happy that the EFCC chairman has come out and declared, Agunloye wanted over the $6 billion Mandela project. It shows that we are having a new man that is not willing to identify with either ethnic championing or interest. I'm also very, very happy that former President Olusegun Obasanjo has come out to declare that he is willing to testify against the man. You see, once you look at the character of Olusegun Obasanjo, he's someone that is a patriot. Very patriotic. I think when recently I met with General IBB, I mean that is one aspect he told me about Obasanjo. That Obasanjo is a true nationalist, is a true Nigerian. So for somebody to come and tell you, hey, this is not our thief, I will come out and testify against him, tells you something exceptional about him. And it tells us that the EFCC now is committed, very, very committed to taking this corruption war. Just like my colleague has said, we've seen the former AGF, after the allegation of billions of naira he stole, they went to Daura and gave him a traditional title. But this time around, the FCC said, no, if you are a thief, you are a thief. If you are not a thief, we will go after you. But for now, they are leaving no stone unturned to ensure that they bring that man to book. So I commend the EFCC chairman, and I believe it is a very welcome development. And we know very soon, those that have stolen our money, and I think they have escaped, we have a new man in town that will insist that, no, come and account for all the money that you've taken. So it's quite a very nice development.
Almost. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time with us on this one. Of course, we didn't get to touch about FG placating lecturers, taking away
that's a big one. That's a big one.
I think some good news for the lecturers. I'm sure they'll be jubilating. Coming at Christmas, it's like a Christmas package for them.
It's a Christmas package, yes.
All right, gentlemen, do have a great day. Chuksa Kunna has joined us, and of course, Simon Rifposa, to look at the papers for today and analyze the stories.
If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing so you won't miss out any of our latest video.